There probably couldn't have been a better game to have released on the N64 than Super Mario 64. This was always one of my favorite games, especially since it was one of the release titles for the N64, and I'm going to review it for you. Okay, let's put this sucker in and see what she can do.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Alright, you know everything worked fine when Mario's disembodied head jumps right out at you.
Dear Mario.
So the premise of this game is that Peach has baked a cake for Mario and invited him over to the castle. But when he shows up, he finds out that Bowser has yet again taken the princess. In order to get her back, Mario has to get the power stars that Bowser has hidden inside the castle's paintings. Doing this allows him to open up different doors and areas so that way you can proceed through the game. The simplicity of this story works pretty well. It's Mario. This is pretty standard stuff, and it gives you a clear goal right away. Get the damn stars.
Here we go!
You can find the power stars in any of the castle's mini paintings, and they're everywhere. Each one will bring you to a different level full of coins and enemies, classic Mario treatment. Every level in this game gives you something new. Even amongst similarly themed levels, there's a lot of variety. Jolly Roger Bay, Dire Docks, and Wet Dry World, they're all water themed, but each level offers something new and refreshing. Even the castle's pretty fun to walk around in. You find hidden levels and secrets in just about every area that you go to. Because each map has 7 stars in it, you really get to explore the most out of every area. There's been few times that I walked away from a map feeling like I didn't see everything that there was to see. For a completionist, this game was actually really well thought of and put together. Something about this game is that it is really liberal with the one-ups. You find them everywhere. If there's one thing you will never need to worry about, it's having lives. They're practically around every corner in this game. I mean, look at this. I'm on my way to fight Bowser for the first time, and already I have 19 lives. I think that's enough? How could I possibly lose with 19 lives? Sorry, 20 lives. Apparently that's not enough. Now look, I know you shouldn't look a gift toad in the mushroom, but there's such a thing as making a game too easy. Part of the challenge is knowing that if you take a misstep, you could fail, and that's what drives you to try even harder. But when you find an extra life around every corner, you have very little incentive to try your best, because you know no matter what, you're going to make it through. And surprisingly, the controls aren't going to be what makes you misstep. I want to mention the controls. Everything is really smooth and responsive, and Mario, he can do some crazy acrobatics in this game, and as long as you've got the right controller, you're not going to have any problems. Most of the controls of this game are pretty intuitive. The A button makes Mario jump, and the B button lets him punch and kick. Now the C buttons, they're just there to piss you off. But believe me, I'll come back to that in detail. And let's not forget the Z button that lets you long jump and do backflips. You should also get really used to Mario's side jump. Change the controller direction fast and pressing A will let him jump really high, and you can reach a lot of otherwise inaccessible areas. But my favorite maneuver? The wall kick. Oh yeah, that's just so satisfying. That's what I'm talking about. But this game is far from perfect. It's filled with all kinds of flaws. I just walked right through a wall. I was planning on standing on that, but I mean, that's cool, I guess. This game has more glitches than probably any other game that I've ever played. Sometimes when you jump and you land on a corner or edge, the game can't figure out if you're still jumping or not. But glitches aren't all bad. Try this one out. Grab Bowser's tail, then let go of him. Just go stand right in front of him and press B like you're grabbing his tail, and it'll teleport right into your hands. That's handy. How about this one? Too lazy to run up the stairs? Well, good thing you got the glitchcalator to get you up there. Man, that was easy. Or on Tiny Huge Island, if you grabbed one of the endless extra lives and you can't get up there, just try glitching your way up. Alright, the game's buggy. But so were a lot of games on the N64. In fact, you could say it was a sign of the times. I actually think in a lot of ways it adds to the charm of the game. I mean, once you've beaten it, why not try everything possible to try and break it? Kind of along those lines, something that I really like about this game is it's perfect for OCD perfectionists. You can do most areas in whatever order you like, or you could do every star one after the next with only a few exceptions. In Super Mario 64, there are 3 caps that you can unlock: the Vanish Cap, the Metal Cap, and the Wing Cap. Each one gives Mario a different ability for a short period of time. While most stars won't require it, some of them will be completely impossible without these hats. And of course, you won't be able to reach some of the 1-ups either. You really only need 70 stars to finish the game, because that lets you get up the endless staircase. But there's 120 stars in all, and you know there's gotta be something real good waiting for you if you go out of your way to get all of them. How couldn't there be? Collecting all the power stars wouldn't be too difficult if it wasn't for the most fatal flaw in this game: the camera. Oh my, is the camera bad. You are constantly going to be fighting with this camera at every moment through this game. You can never get it where you want to. It will always be somewhere inconvenient for you. But let me back up a bit. This is one of the few games that I've played where they actually go out of their way to incorporate the camera system into the story. That's right, they explain to you why it is that there is a camera in the game. From the very beginning, you see that the Lakitu brothers are following Mario with their cameras on their fishing poles, and they're really filming Mario. It's as though if it wasn't for them, you'd see nothing. You can even see them following you around in this part of the castle where there's a giant mirror. And I'll admit, when I was a kid, I thought that was pretty clever. But that doesn't excuse the horrible functionality of the system. And besides, have you ever wondered in any other video game why it is that something shows up on the screen? I don't know, let's test that out. Man, this would be easy if those Lakitu brothers had shown up to film anything. No matter how many times you've played this game or how good you are at it, the camera is always going to be in your way. See this? I know that Mr. Eye's up here, but I don't have any time to respond. I mean, watch that. Bam! Here the camera just feels like it's stuck to the ground. I can't get any sense of depth. If I could just get it off the ground, I'd see what I'm doing. And then the same thing happens to me a minute later. I jump right over him. This little spider is kicking my ass because I can't see. Ideally, you're supposed to be able to use those C buttons to adjust the camera, but half the time, the camera just doesn't want to move, so it'll just buzz in your face and do nothing. Other times, the camera just adjusts on its own, or it puts you in a very inconvenient place. Look at this. There's pits all around me, and I can't get the camera behind me. Every time I move, the camera adjusts itself. And look at all these coins. I'm very close to getting the 100 coin star, so I don't want to fall off these ledges, but I just can't get the camera where I want it. Just come around. Oh, God. Gotta clench my asshole every time I jump. God, it's just all over. Oh, no. God. Occasionally, the camera will even make cinematic decisions, and it'll just dramatically change the angle without you doing anything. Now, there's nothing wrong with a game experimenting with a different camera system, but this game knows that its camera system is flawed, and it just loves putting you in these ulcer-inducing situations. You can't tell how far any mushroom is, and look how small some of these are. It just wants to see you fall. Maybe that's why there's a green mushroom everywhere you look in this game. Games like Resident Evil used a unique camera system to enhance the survival horror feeling, to really make you feel nervous whenever you were doing it, and it works with the game. The Legend of Zelda used the Z targeting system because it gave you a dynamic system for controlling Link, and it allowed you to reposition the camera freely whenever you want. But in Super Mario 64, it's only here to piss you off. God! Granted, Super Mario 64 was an early 3D game, and games like this weren't incredibly common yet, so they were working out the kinks. And those later games like Zelda, they definitely took hints from what worked and what didn't to make their system even better. While the camera in this game is a common obstacle, the enemies aren't too bad. You'll see common enemies like the Koopa Troopa, the Shy Guy, or Goombas, and maybe even a few guys you haven't seen before. Most enemies can be defeated with a simple jump, punch, or kick, and they usually yield a few coins when you kill them. Since every stage has a power star for getting 100 coins, you always have a good incentive to fight as many enemies as possible. Some enemies are stronger than others, like this fish that can kill you in one bite. Man, that sucks. Or this giant shark that does nothing when you swim through it. But the worst enemy in this game by far is the nondescript black ball. They hate everything about Mario. They hate his Mario face, they hate his Mario mustache, and they will shit out fireballs until Mario is nothing but a melted skin bag of goo wearing an ugly pair of coveralls. There's very little that you can do other than run from these enemies. You can't kill them, and they will just constantly attack you while you're around. And if Mario gets hit, he's just gonna run around with his ass on fire until he does something to get you killed. Man. Come on. No, I don't want to talk to the Baba. The Goomba. Oh. Get up there. Come on. How is that so hard? And I fell off the edge. There's another one of these again. Come on! This game does have its fair share of infuriating moments, but all things considered, it's still an incredibly well done game. If you've never played Super Mario 64, I highly recommend you pick up a copy. It'll be worth your time. This game is as much about freedom as it is about restriction. An industrious player will find creative ways to get around the map that definitely weren't intended. That's half the fun of the game. And once you've collected all 120 power stars, and you've had your final showdown with Bowser, there's a real sense of accomplishment. Yeah, take that. The ending is simple, but satisfying. Gives you everything you'd expect to see. And I gotta say, Peach is looking pretty good in 3D. But more important than that, let's see what all this hard work has been leading up to. I've been wanting to get into this cannon the entire time. Every time I booted up the game, I checked to see if it was open. Now all of that hard work for the 120 stars can pay off. Alright, our good pal Yoshi's up here and he's ready to help us out. What do you got for me? New weapon? New skills and abilities? New missions? Oh man, I can't hardly wait. 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 What? But. Yeah. That's it? That's it? More lives? More one-ups? Well, it's true what they say. It's more about the adventure than the destination. And Super Mario 64 delivers an exciting adventure. If it's not already in your game library, I recommend picking up a copy the next time you see it. And on that note, I'm out.